All right. Um, so obviously lockdown going on at the moment, um, and being involved in a number of kind of football group chats. I've seen people doing like footy manager saves and FIFA saves where you kind of added people from the groups in and people going back and playing like retro football games. So I thought I'd do a bit of a project. Call it a project. It's just a bit of fun to pass the time. So a couple of months ago, I say a couple of months ago, 6 months ago, I kind of picked up Pez, and it's probably the most fun I've had playing a football game in a while. And one of the parts of that was good was the editing on it, and being able to kind of look online for shit that other people have done. Because like, while I'm happy to kind of put in work editing, like doing faces and editing fucking looks and stuff isn't something that's particularly my forte. Um, so I basically downloaded a load of classic tunes on Pairs, and I ended up with like 60 classic club sides and about 10 international, which is all well and good. But kind of around the time the Euros for this year got officially cancelled, um, it kind of leaves you without a tournament. Considering how good the World Cup was a couple of years ago as well, it was kind of like, right, well, I wouldn't mind doing an international tournament, but obviously with about 8 or 9 international sides on the game, there wasn't, or classic international sides on the game, there was now I could really do. So basically worked on using the players from the kind of 50, 60 classic sides I had to get as many classic international sides as possible, international squads. And when I say classic, I don't mean specific sides like, Brazil in 94 or France in 98, but more so like all-time legend sides. So, different generations of a squad of 20, 30 people, stretching from kind of the 50s, 60s all the way to current day. Um, so basically what I put together through a lot of work, a lot of copying and pasting, was 27 international sides, or specific national sides, and 5 additional continental sides made up of players who weren't in the original 27 international teams. And I'm basically going to do with those 32 teams a Classic World Cup. So it'll be a usual World Cup format, 8 groups of 4 teams. Top 2 from each group go through. Second round, quarter-final, semi-final, third place playoff and final. So the way I did that was, with the 32 teams I had, seeded them all into first seeds, second seeds, third seeds, fourth seeds. I did a draw, because I thought you don't want to watch a video of me pulling a piece of paper out of me pants or whatever. So already done the draw. So probably gonna go through that definitely gonna go through that in a couple of seconds. That's what the whole video's about. So just to cover off how I'm going to do it, I'm going to play in every game as an exhibition game, and basically track it myself, because the limitations that setting up a tournament within the game give you makes it a bit more difficult. So if I play every game and just track it myself on the spreadsheet, it's a lot easier. In terms of suspensions and red cards, so if somebody's red carded in a game, they'll miss the next game. Obviously with these squads, with it being legend sides, most squads are kind of 4.5, 5 stars. And where you've got an 80 or plus player playing, first choice, you've probably got an 80 plus player on the bench anyway. But suspensions are in place anyway. Same thing if a player goes off direct from an injury, they will miss the next game due to injury, and then obviously they're allowed back in for the next few games. In terms of every game, I'll manage the squads beforehand for both sides. I basically set the first 11 tactics and formation to fit the opponent they're playing. So rather than just going straight on the menu and choosing the side, I'll try and look at it and set it up for each individual game ahead of time. I'll play the game on Superstar level, which is like the second highest level below Legend, which is what I usually play on. kind of win as many as I lose on there, so they're usually pretty close games, pretty testing level. So what I'm going to try and do, probably especially in the group stages, or at least the first round of group stage games, is play it as what you call the underdogs in each side. So I probably won't play as any of the first seed teams against the second seed teams, and won't play as the 13 seed teams against the 4 seed teams. So what we're probably looking at then is, obviously I don't want to try and use the same side all the way through the group stage as well within any group. So I'll probably then, next second round of games in the group stage, have to use the first and third seed teams. But I'll mix it up as and when. But obviously when it gets to the group stage, then if these clear underdogs in probably the teams that go through second place in the group, I'll use them then in the second round and so on. Just to give myself a bit of a challenge, I suppose. So most likely I'll try and play every game of the tournament as at least one of the 2 sides involved. What I'm going to try and do is hopefully get a video uploaded to YouTube every day or two, with 2 games on each video initially. So in the group stage, obviously, if you're thinking about a World Cup group stage, you have 2 games from Group A on the first day, 2 games from Group B on the second day, or sometimes you mix it up with 2 and 1 from another group. But I'm going to try and do probably 2 games every video. I've tested out some kind of warm-up games and stuff. Probably going to play on 13 minutes games at this point in time, which I think comes out around 22 minutes for the full recording, including like replays and intros and everything. So it'll mean a 45-minute video with 2 games in. As I say, try and post one every day or so. So obviously it takes a while to get through all the group games, but everything will be there. And in terms of recording the games, it's easy enough to play and record them on the PS4, and then probably take me an hour or 2 to edit them. So it's fairly straightforward for me. When we get to the second round, I'll up the time of the games, so we'll probably go for like 15 minutes games in the second round. Quarterfinals and semi-finals will play at 20-minute games, and 25 minutes for the final and the third place playoff. When we do get to those second round games, obviously the longer games means longer videos, so I'll probably do it as just one game per video. But obviously I might have bits in there, edited bits in, like route to the second round, and show the goals from each team up until that point. Just try and make it similar to broadcast. I did actually try and get me projector screen behind me and use like the white screen feature within the app on the PS4, but it came out all weird, and I was wearing a white jumper at the time as well, so I basically had like some guy's face on my jumper from Pez. So yeah, I thought leave it, but I'll do a bit of editing and hopefully make it a bit interesting and a bit like a broadcast. Obviously, you when you're watching this, you'll obviously see it from the intro video as well. In the spirit of the World Cup, I'll be doing Golden Boot, Golden Gloves, Team of the Tournament, Goal of the Tournament, include them. Depending on how many people watch it, I'll put them to a vote at some point. But, probably the 4 of you that watch through, it's 4 votes. I'm not doing this for like viewers or anything. I'm basically just doing this to, I think in a couple of years' time, if you look back on this weird period that we're in, where we're just locked indoors, it'd be nice to look back and say I did something interesting with it. So as I say, PES is quality game. I've really enjoyed playing it this year. So hopefully it'll be entertaining enough to kind of entertain you lot. Right, so without me rambling on, I did hope to explain everything in about 5 minutes or so, and I've nearly been rambling 10 minutes now. So on to the group stages. So as I say, I did the draw previously. These are how things turned out. These are the teams. Give you a bit of a rundown of what the groups are, and how the squads are kind of shaping up. A bit of a high level overview. So here's the cup draw.